Started, it didn't start with Showbtv at all, you know.
Interesting.
This idea of Showbtv came about after me being involved with several different ventures. So I'll take you back to the beginning. I'll take you back to 2012. So in 2012, a young lady that I knew invited me to go to a swing party. You know, swingers. Those are people that are usually in relationships that you know, they share their spouse with other people. Couples sharing couples. You know, couples inviting singles into their bedroom, that kind of thing. So she invited me to go to a swing party. It was somewhere in Brooklyn. I can't remember to be exact.
Okay.
So we went to this swing party, and we didn't go to have sex or anything. I mean, she liked the idea of the atmosphere and meeting new people. I mean, the point of us was to, you know, eventually meet a girl because she was bisexual, and the point of it was to, you know, us to find a girl that would have a threesome with us. So she figured if we go to a swing party, this is what she was telling me, that there's single women there looking to get with couples. So
okay,
she found a spot. We went to this spot. I think it was in Brooklyn, and we was going to check it out. You know, that particular night we didn't find the young lady, but I'm telling you this story this is leading to how I got to Showbtv. You know, interestingly enough. So that night we went to the party, and right away I noticed that there was a lot of people that were interested in this type of lifestyle.
All right.
Right. The people were cool, you know. The first point I'll make is that they charged $50 per couple to get in, right? I think single guys paid $100 to get in, and single ladies got in free. So as a couple, you're paying $50. There are more couples than there are single ladies or single guys, you know, naturally. So the majority of the people that are there are couples.
Getting all of this?
So this establishment, you know, wherever it is, they're getting $50 per couple, and there's a bunch of people in there, right? So right away, I'm thinking, shit, whoever's throwing these functions, they're making money, you know, because you got to figure that the space was a club. So I don't know. They rented a club. It wasn't even a club. Wow. It was a space, you know. It wasn't like a nightclub. It was a space. Actually, you know what? It was a club, because I remember the bar wasn't free. So the bar was not included in the $50 price tag that that they charged. So they rented out a space and rented it out for their private usage for the night. So I guess you got to cover whatever they paid for the space, and they didn't have to spend any money to buy liquor, because the venue covered the liquor. And I would think that as a business person, more than likely they made an arrangement with the establishment to get some sort of money kickback off of what their people spent at the bar. So that's I thought I was doing a way to generate some money for them for that night as well. And then outside of that, they served, basic. They didn't serve like full course meal. They served like snacks and shit, or hors d'oeuvres, and soda and juice and stuff like that. The liquor you had to pay for. So they had to recoup the cost of that. So you think, if I had to count the heads in there, it had to be over 100 couples in the party. There was a bunch of people in there. It had to be over 100 couples. So you got to figure. Let's just say conservatively, if they got, 60 couples in there. Let's not even say it was 100. 60 couples. So 60 times $50. You could do the math, right? So I'm thinking right away. Whoever's doing this, they could be making, they could be making some money.
YouTube channel.
So my brain is working. Something that was interesting that somebody said to me. I might even see it on a meme. They said drug dealers and hustlers are different because drug dealers only know how to sell drugs. Hustlers sell everything, can sell anything, and that's always been my my attitude. I'll sell it. So anyway, I got the idea, man. Shit. More so, I was more interested in starting a business to entertain swingers versus rather than being an actual swinger.
Definitely.
My first thought process was, damn, I could get me a venue, I could promote it, because nobody was having sex in the venue. You know what I mean? And they didn't have to worry about a liquor license because the venue provided liquor. So nobody was having sex. This was just a party where people that were interested in the swinger lifestyle were able to go and be amongst like-minded people and possibly create some sort of rapport that night and set something up for a later date. So it wasn't like you have to worry about people, having sex on your dance floor. So anyway, I'm thinking, shit, I can make some money with this. So, me usually the type of person that I am, I put my money behind my ideas, and you know what they say, scared money don't make money.
Okay.
So fast forward, a couple of months, it was on my mind for a long time. I think I might have went to one or two more swinger parties, not for the swinging, but just so to kind of scout it out and do some research to find out if it was something that I really wanted to put my money into. So after going to a couple of parties and seeing how the crowd showed up consistently, because you got to figure these people are looking for places that they could go to without anybody chastising their lifestyle, because they still want to do what they want to do, but they don't want to, they don't want the whole general public in their business. So if they could find a place that caters to them and their lifestyle, then why not? They'll spend the $50 and they'll do it every weekend. I think the thrill for swinger people is that new encounter with that new person, that new body. You know what I mean? So anyway, I decided to go for it. I got a spot in Deer Park, Long Island. It was a 2,500 square foot warehouse with an office attached to it. So my initial idea was to take that spot and convert it into a venue that I could start to promote for private parties. So I did it. I started, taking every little money that I had. I had some money in the stash, and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just take a gamble. Great. And I used the money that I had in the stash to, to go for it. So I got the spot. My friend, I knew a guy that owned a business, and he happened to have a connection with a landlord that was able to rent me a space in an industrial complex in Deer Park. So I got the spot and I just started decking it out. I painted the place, started buying stuff. I bought a pool table, I bought a poker game table, I bought couches, I bought lights, all kind of stuff, air conditionings, all kind of stuff, TVs. I decked it out, right? And then after I decked it out, I went about promoting. So then what I would do is I joined a bunch of swinger websites, me and the girl that I mentioned earlier. Now, like I said, I joined the swinger website not so much interested in being a swinger. I joined the swinger website because I needed a captive audience. I needed to be able to market my service to a direct group of people. So I paid whatever subscriptions that I had to pay, just X amount of money per month to join a bunch of swinger websites, and
nothing.
And I went about starting to meet people. And the way that we would do it is, we would have conversations. People see the pictures. It's always about the women. You know what I mean? So it's always about the women. More than likely, it's the guy in the relationship reaching out to another couple because he likes the woman of the couple. And then they let the women communicate with each other. And then if all goes well, whatever. Well, I speak of experience because I've actually obviously done it before, but I'm into it more for the business aspect of it. So anyway, joined a bunch of websites and started to meet a bunch of people, right? And I actually had a couple of events. And people were coming, and after doing it, I got nervous. You know what I mean? I got nervous because I was like, I'm meeting these people, and these people are doing this thing in their personal life, but I had no idea what these people do in their professional lives. I could be inviting people to my underground spot, and in their professional life, they police, or they whatever. So I started getting nervous, and then secondly, it wasn't kicking off. The spot that I rented, the rent was $1,600 a month. So my idea was to get it popping quick enough to where as though I could make some money to start to pay for the rent. That wasn't happening. So for the first couple of months, that $1,600 a month had to come out of my pocket, and I was paying the bill. So long story short, I abandoned that. Okay. Because I was thinking, this is not working. I was uncomfortable with the people coming into the spot, being that it was underground, and it was a bootleg spot. And then secondly, it wasn't generating enough interest. If it was an above board spot and I could promote it, openly, then that's a different story. But it was underground, so I could only promote to certain people, and it just wasn't getting to where I needed it to be quick enough. So then what I did was I had to start thinking about different ways to try to utilize this space now, because now I got a $2,500 warehouse and I done bought a whole bunch of pool tables and card game tables and TVs and air conditioners. What the hell am I going to do with all this stuff? And I got a $1,600 a month bill. So now I'm thinking, I'm racking my brain. I'm thinking about how the hell am I going to generate some money to pay, at least have the spot pay for itself until the lease is over, and then I can walk away from it. So then I started meeting these people. I started meeting some people. I met these. I actually met this guy. I met this guy that actually had a studio in the same industrial complex. I guess they seen that I moved in, and they came and started talking to me. Blah blah blah. Business owner to business owner. So they started talking to me, and through the guy that owned the studio, I met this DJ. His name was DJ Rhino or something like that. So I'm gonna speed up the story, but I met DJ Rhino. He saw that I had this spot. He told me he had a bunch of kids. He had these young kids that were really good at promoting parties. So I said, bring them through. So he brought them through, and these kids, Luigi and
this guy's good, ain't he?
Critter was his name. I can't remember what his real name, but Luigi and Critter, they were two cousins that were into the whole dancing reggae scene. Okay. And they were young, early 20s. So, in your early 20s, you partying every single weekend. And these happened to be, guys that were in the know. A whole bunch of people knew them. Chicks liked them. Guys knew them. They threw a bunch of parties. They, went and got they fresh on and all kind of name brand shit. But anyway, I met these young guys, and they were party promoters. And it seemed like everything happened exactly when it was supposed to happen. I tell you, man, the Most High always follows me, man. He has his hand on my shoulder consistently, because right when I needed to meet these guys, I met them. Right when I needed to find a source to be able to generate some money to pay this bill that was hanging over my head, I met these guys who were coincidentally looking for a space to where they could start throwing parties. Boom. So now we popping. The spot is already set up for entertainment. And it's huge. It's 2,500 square feet. It's a big space, right? So you know, I go now we switching gears now. Now we're not trying to throw swinger parties no more. Now we're throwing regular parties. Now it's still underground. I don't got a liquor license or anything like that. So I was on my hood shit for a little while. So we started promoting the parties. First couple of parties until people started knowing about it was slow. But then I got it. It was popping. I ain't gonna say I got it popping. We got it popping because I was kind of just the facilitator. You know, I had the spot. I put up all the money to invest and make things happen, and they went out and promoted and brought people in, which was just as important as me putting up the money. One hand washes the other. You know, steel sharpens steel. Right. I needed them to make it happen, and I'm not gonna say that they needed me, but they wanted a spot, and we just kind of met at the right time. So eventually it started going great. I got people coming in. I'm talking about this is Saturday nights when I got 200 people in there. Everybody paid $10, $20 to get in. And I'm selling liquor. Pardon me, NYPD, Long Island, and Nassau County Police Department, Suffolk County Police Department. I don't do it no more. But anyway, I'm selling liquor, no license, bootleg, underground, making money. I'm making money off the bar. I'm making money off the door. The chick that I initially went to the swinger parties with, she's my bartender. You know, I trust her with the money, so she was holding down the bar. I would never think you'd be into this kind of stuff. I'm in there rocking, making dough. So it started going great, and you know what? I pride myself because in the time that I was there, I was probably there for like 18 months. In the time that I was there was only one incident, one fight between two girls. So you got to think now. This is a place where young people is at. They drinking alcohol. And in 18 months, one small fight. I mean, you know, the vibe was just good, man. Like I say, the Most High be checking for me. And it was, you know, it was potential. I mean, I look back at it now, and it was potential for a nightmare, potential disaster. Anything could have happened. People in there with alcohol. I mean, I had some security, but these weren't licensed, professional, paid security. You know, people, they're not really going to risk their life if something pop off. If something pop off, it's on me. But anyway, fast forward. So eventually, you know, it wasn't legal, so it busted. Because what happened was somebody started hating. Somebody called the cops and told the cops that there was a party going on, underage drinking. The cops eventually came by. I'm gonna save that story for another, session. So I ended up having to shut that down, right? I'll give you that story another day. I ended up having to shut that down. So now I don't have this space, but I got all this equipment.
We should have talked to him.
I got sound systems. I'm talking about. I used to throw big parties in there, and I didn't want to continually hire DJs and have them pay it because I always had to pay more if they brought their equipment. So eventually, the parties were making so much money. I invested in a whole bunch of equipment that I own now, right? So now I own all this equipment. I got the pool tables and all that shit got damaged because if you know dance hall daggering, people done jumped all over the furniture. Shit got fucked up. Pardon my French. Sorry. Shit got messed up. All the furniture and everything is damaged, right? So I didn't get that, but luckily I made the money back that I spent to get it. But I wasn't able to take that with me. I'm glad because I have no way to put it anyway. So I got a whole bunch of equipment now. I'm talking about I got about 3 sound systems, meaning that I could set up in 3 different places at 3 different times and rock a party of about 200 people. That's how much equipment I got. So I'm thinking, damn, I got all this equipment now. What the hell am I going to do? I'm not throwing it away, and I don't use all of this equipment in my personal life. I don't Well, how much am I? I live in a small space. What am I going to? Anyway, so now my brain is on overdrive now because I'm thinking now. I don't got that space no more. I mean, obviously I got other sources of income, so it's not like with that. That was the extra. That was the idea that I put my money behind, and it happened to work. I mean, the second idea that I had, because the first idea was the swinger party, and that busted.
I just know.
So that was the idea that I had. I put my money behind it, and I made money. A better thing to say. I can't say it worked because I ended up having to shut it down because it wasn't legal. So, but now I got equipment that is paid for. This is where FSI Entertainment came from, which is legal business. So now I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do with all this equipment, right? As a kid, I was always into music, always been DJing, parties at home with the family. My people from Jamaica, so we always listened to reggae music. As a youngster, I got into hip hop. So music was always, very familiar to me. So I said, I'm going to just start a business as a mobile DJ. And because I got all this equipment, I'm going to start a business as a mobile DJ, FSI Entertainment. So went about, licensing, getting all my paperwork right, business cards, logos, websites, emails, phones, this, that, get everything in place, started promoting the business, and, it started working.
Great.
It started working. Still going on now. So if you need a DJ, let any of your people need a DJ, tell them to give me a shout. So anyway,
Okay.
FSI Entertainment now. With FSI Entertainment, I bought a MacBook Pro laptop, right? So I bought a MacBook Pro laptop, and in the MacBook Pro they have a software package called iMovie, which is a video editing software. So what I started doing was I would DJ these parties, and I would start taking video of the phone, of my phone, of the parties, and then trying to figure out how I could use them to promote myself as a DJ, video content. Because by this time, social media is around, Facebook is around, and people are actively using social media. So I get an idea to start trying to make some videos. This is how initially I start getting into video editing. So then I started with iMovie, recording parties, making gig logs of FSI Entertainment parties. Now at this time, I know nothing about shooting videos. I know nothing about lighting, audio, nothing at all. So I start getting these videos and putting them up on my Facebook page. But then I start seeing other people's gig logs,
when they say never give up,
and I start seeing things like the quality of their video, the sound of their video just started looking so much better than mine. And that my desire to have things look good forced me to go do some research. Then I started finding out about the stuff that I needed to actually make a good video. In the process, I realized that I really enjoyed the whole video editing, filming world. So I enjoy video and editing. So even if I wasn't at the point where I started doing gig logs, I enjoyed it so much. Now I started looking for other stuff that I could film and record. You know what I mean? So then I started looking into how I could make better videos, and I realized that my passion, or another passion that I stumbled upon, was editing videos. So then I started getting into really getting into editing videos, and because of my desire to edit videos, I started thinking about I could make stuff. I love the idea of an idea, something starting, a concept starting, an idea, starting with an idea, and then putting in the steps.
That's interesting.
And that finished product being the result of what happened in between the idea and the end result.
Overload right here.
And I realized that I could sit down at my computer and work on editing video 10 hours straight. Now, when you could do something for 10 hours straight, it's something that you probably want to put some time into.
Okay. So
that's exactly what happened. That's how Showbtv actually came about. And that was the, that's what happened. Showbtv came about, and it was really about my initial desire to create better looking gig logs. And then in doing research on how to make it better, I realized that I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process of learning about getting to where I wanted to be as far as making my video production look good. So then I started getting into video production of all different types of stuff. And that's where Showbtv came about. I wanted to create a platform where I was behind the camera, behind the editing chair, and able to create professional looking quality videos that I could share. And I needed a platform where I could share that. And that's where the Showbtv YouTube channel came about. So, you wanted to know the story. That's it.
That was a great story, man. I mean, you're definitely a hustler. I mean, shit. No joke. Great story, man. Can't wait to talk to you again. Great story.